Worthington from the Center for Employment Opportunities. We're a social enterprise that helps folks get employed after returning home from incarceration. My use case is around us utilizing ChatGPT, specifically voice mode, and the ability to craft your own custom GPTs to create role play scenarios to help you practice difficult conversations. So we plan on using this with our staff to train them to be better at things like motivational interviewing, pitching an employer that may be skeptical of our services, but also participants to help them practice things like job interviews that you can benefit from getting a lot more reps. And it can be difficult to have somebody, a human on the other side, to practice over and over again. So I'll share my screen. I'm just going to hope and pray that the sharing of sound also works, because I'll be able to demo it real quickly here. If y'all don't know what custom GPTs are, it's basically customizing the chatbot. You need at least a Plus account to be able to create your own. But if I go into my GPTs, you can see I've created a bunch of these. I'll just briefly show you the instructions that I gave one. So let's see, I just talked about pitching CEO to employer partners. I can show you these instructions. So it may look kind of lengthy, but actually it's very easy to craft these because you just use ChatGPT and you tell it, hey, I'm building a custom GPT. I wanted to do this. Can you help me draft it? And then you just refine it and test it over and over again. So I want it to be basically playing the role of an employer that's skeptical, and I have to remember all of my talking points to convince this employer that they should work with us. So you can give it a bunch of scenarios and tell it exactly like how to start the conversation. Because I wanted to build a tool that I can just put in front of one of my colleagues, and they can hit start, and then they just go. And then at the end, after a 3 to 4 minute, conversation with a fake employer, they get some feedback on how they could improve their pitch. And there's a million and one ways you can do this. So I'll see if this actually works, and please let me know if the sound does not work. This pitching CEO to employers. So I've teed it up, so all you have to do is hit start, and let's get started. Let's get started.
Awesome. Thanks for being ready to dive in. Let's jump right into the practice. I'll start with scenario 1. Employer resistant to hiring justice-impacted workers. Here's my opening line for you. I like what you are doing, but we don't hire felons here. Just so you know, I'm going to stay in character as the hiring manager the whole time. Feel free to start your pitch whenever you're ready.
Hey, well, thanks so much for meeting with me. I understand you have some skepticism, but I'd love to explain CEO's program and see if I can convince you to work with us.
All right, I'm listening, but you should know we've had some bad experiences in the past. Folks not showing up, some attitude problems. Honestly, it just feels risky for my business. Why should I take that chance again?
Well, CEO is a little bit unique in that we are actually a social enterprise. So we employ our program participants. They work for us, and we give them feedback every day. So I won't send anybody to you that hasn't had a consistent track record of being able to show up for, weeks or even months in a row before I would even send them to you for consideration.
That's interesting. So you're saying you're kind of vetting them before they even get to me? That's definitely a little different than what I'm used to. But let's be real. Showing up is one thing. How do I know they're going to be able to handle the job responsibilities, especially if it's something fast-paced or customer-facing?
We give a lot of feedback to help refine our participants' software employment skills. So we'll have worked with somebody for, again, weeks or even months before we would send them to you. Here, I'll stop it here because I know it's only supposed to be like 2 minutes, but you can see it's like a back and forth, 4 to 7 minutes, and then at the end, the feedback is really the best part. That I was actually shocked the first time I did it. It's extremely specific and it's not generic like, oh, you could have been more empathetic or this. Like it's going to tell you exactly when you could have improved. And it's taking in a lot of background information that I've given it because I've uploaded a PowerPoint with, all the talking points, the way that we train our job developers. So it has all of that kind of in its brain to be able to give feedback. But I'll leave it there.